Now in its 9th year, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey everybody, I'm Alex and this is the Ramble, and we go until midnight tonight from New York, New York. That guy there, that's Albert Reynoso. He will at some point during this conversation do something to put me down. Go ahead. You want to do it now? You want to do it later?
I wanted to start by saying, how's your hand? Because last time I saw your hand had a big bruise on it.
That was about a week ago, right?
Yeah.
It hasn't gotten any better.
That's right. Yes.
It hasn't gotten any better.
Oh, that's terrible.
It has stayed that way for a week now.
Well, I'm sorry to hear
Well,
that.
at least since the last time we talked. The knee? Oh, the knee still hasn't really healed up.
The initial segment from now on, when I see you, is a recap of your ailment.
Well, see, the next time you ask for a recap of that ailment, it will have gotten better.
I hope so.
See,
I certainly hope
this
so.
will not be a problem anymore.
And last time I asked about what it is that people see or hear. Why do they come to listen to this? What is essentially a phone call between you and I?
Yeah.
And I read some very interesting comments down below in the YouTube section. So
Really? Okay, keep those YouTube comments coming right now, folks.
It was very interesting. And also the couple of people that agreed with me about humanity, every human being a selfish, hypocritical, judgmental liar. Thank you for that. Mm-hmm. And nobody disagreed. Nobody agreed.
Disagreed. No, I noticed that.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. Anyway, so yeah. So anyway, and then
I was talking with you just before we started this about a film, because we've in the past talked about films and TV shows and things, and I just made an aside that interested you. I said that I watch the movie Brazil by director Terry Gilliam maybe at least once every 2 years. And I think it came out in 1984. Mm-hmm. And every time I watch it, it becomes more prophetic and seems like things are almost like that, even more so every time I watch it. And you said you were interested in maybe speaking about that.
Notice I've just frozen?
Yes, you are frozen.
That's because this camera suddenly froze on me, but I will now go to my other camera. There we go.
Okay.
There we go. Let me just make a little changes here to this one. And if it goes, I've even got a third camera sitting up here. But let me see here. Let me go down. And let me go over. There we go. And we're fine now. Wow. I don't know how long I was frozen, just a short time. So I just go to my other camera.
Very nice.
But anyway, where were you? Brazil.
Yeah, and you said you had something you wanted to say about that, because I think we're getting closer and closer.
Well, I remember the film, but I don't remember it that well that I can probably give you a judgment on it. But you're probably right.
Well, I mean, when I first saw it, there were terrorists blowing things up.
Mm-hmm.
That was part of life. And in the movie, the guy on the television in the beginning of the movie says this has been going on for 13 years, and they are just bad sports. And that's kind of the way we've gotten now. We have terrorism going on all the time, and whoever is not a good person, we just automatically call them terrorists. That's the way it is. Mm-hmm. And we kind of live with the whole thing now. What are you going to do about it? And also, there's a lot of duct work. Literally ducts going throughout the houses and the apartments of everywhere you go to. In the restaurants, there's these big ducts. And now I look around at ads, and there's ads for cleaning of your ducts, because we have ducts for air conditioning, we have ducts for laundry ducts. to filter, to get the laundry exhaust. So that's come true too.
Mhm.
And it seems like it's all happening to us now.
Right. Yeah.
So that was it.
All the ducts around. I mean, excuse me, I was just fixing my picture because I went to another camera and I'm green now. Do I look green?
Oh, you look pink. You look like a salmon.
This is
Now a little orange like a salmon.
Yeah, it's kind of
You're
changing.
like a trout.
Anyway, I'm having to use the other camera. See, if I went back to my other camera, let me see here. I don't think it will show up. Let's see here. See, I'm
My
frozen.
question: Why do people listen and watch?
Hmm?
You're frozen again.
Yeah, well, I'm going to unfreeze
We're
myself.
frozen
Okay.
salmon now.
Here we go, Logitech Brio. Here we go. Oh, come on. I put Logitech
Now you sound like
Brio.
you're underwater. You're
Oh,
You're literally
here.
an underwater salmon now. Hope people are enjoying
There
this.
we go. Okay.
But your mic sounds terrible.
My mic sounds terrible?
Yeah.
Why does it sound terrible?
It sounds like it's a mic on a laptop from far away.
But it isn't a mic from a laptop
What can I tell you? To me, it sounds
far
terrible.
away. It sounds terrible?
Yeah, when you watch
Oh.
it back, you realize you've screwed everything.
No, I didn't screw anything up here. You're giving me a bad time. Okay?
When you watch it back, you'll hear what's the time on it, and you'll watch back, and you'll know that the mic doesn't sound good anymore.
At this point, I can hear through my earphones and it sounds just fine.
Okay, you'll check when it's done.
sounds just fine.
You sound like you're underwater.
No, there's nothing wrong with my microphone.
Okay, all right,
It sounds just fine.
very nice. Nice.
Does it sound better now?
No. Aside from your
There might be something going out to you. I don't know. I have
Go
no
ahead.
idea.
Well, let's get back to what you were saying about Brazil or something.
Oh, you were talking about Brazil. I haven't seen it in years, so I can't bespeak to how it becomes more of the times. Okay, but I imagine it could. It was a prophetic tale, and it probably his prophecy was accurate.
So far, I think.
Yeah.
And
So-
Robert De Niro is great in it.
Oh yeah, yeah. And who played the lead character? What was his name?
Jonathan Pryce.
Jonathan Pryce. Yeah, terrific actor. Is he still alive? Yeah, I think. Or did
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Just checking in. I do that a lot with my what's the device we call it? I call it Echo, but I can't say that because that's the key word. But Alexa.
You
So-
do what with Alexa?
Well, I'm watching a show, and it's like some actor,
Mm-hmm.
and then I will ask her, when did he die, or is he still alive, or whatever. Yeah, that's my main question that I ask Alexa, death questions about famous personalities.
Can you ask her about you once in a while,
No,
just to see?
no. Is Alex Bennett? Well, let me ask her. Echo, is Alex Bennett still alive?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, no, he passed away in 2023.
I passed away in 2023.
Wow.
Whoa! You ever have that
Bennett-
feeling maybe you did die and you just don't know it?
Oh, this is brilliant. I like this. Ask her again. Maybe
Okay.
she's wrong.
Echo, is Alex Bennett still alive?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, no, he passed away in 2023.
Oh my God! Can I sue them for that?
That's priceless.
Y-
This is going to be the most watched of your podcasts and most listened to ever, because you're not actually live
According to
anymore.
Alexa, I'm dead.
The ghost of Alex Bennett hosts the podcast.
Gee, I've never asked that before.
See? Interesting things.
I mean, like for instance, Echo, Is Jim Carrey still alive?
Jim Carrey is still alive.
See, Jim Carrey's still
61 years
alive.
old.
And then I go, Echo, is Alex Bennett still alive? Echo, is Alex Bennett still alive?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, no, he passed away in 2023.
You see?
Wow. Maybe you should ask about Gilbert
Okay,
Gottfried,
here we
because
go.
he always used to say Alex Bennett is still alive.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Wait, let me just for a moment. Let me ask. Echo, is radio personality Alex Bennett still alive?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, yes.
Oh yes.
Oh, okay.
And it says I'm 83 years old.
All right.
Okay,
That's
so
good.
as long as I put radio personality in front of it, so probably there is an Alex Bennett who did die, but it's not this Alex Bennett.
That's good to hear, because I just took a sip of my drink and I was going to do a spit take if she said no after you said radio personality.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't want to get anything wet around.
However, if I ask her, is Alex Bennett a radio personality, I would love to hear the answer on that one.
And she'll say, no, nobody is, because the internet killed the radio stars.
That's right.
So nobody's a radio personality anymore.
I'm sorry I invented the podcast.
What could you do about it? Nothing you can do.
Nothing. But, I mean, I did.
Technology marches on.
I have proof.
Okay.
I have the program that was used to deliver it here. So I mean, I'm sorry that because there are how many now? 300,000 podcasts or something like that.
I would say that's probably a low number.
Yeah,
I think just about everybody has one now.
I mean, it's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous,
And they all make tons of money for people.
There's no money in radio anymore.
No.
Except for maybe very few people here and there. And it's all been taken over by the internet.
That's the way it
And
goes.
somebody who's got a podcast about a murder gets better numbers than, anybody you can name.
I don't understand that, because I don't listen to podcasts, not regularly anyway, and
Yeah.
I certainly don't listen to podcasts about murders, but I know that's
Yeah.
popular.
It's very
But
popular.
I look at I turn on Netflix and it's one murder investigation, trial of this trial. What's the obsession with all with the?
Well,
with
what I
all
find Netflix has a lot of, rather than that, is that it has a lot of what am I looking for? It has a lot of foreign programs
Mhm.
from other countries,
Those are foreign, yes.
and they're like 6 episodes, so they're a binge watch.
Mhm.
But they're from another country, and you know why the stuff coming from another country is so popular? Is because nothing's being done in this country right now, so they have to get their stuff elsewhere.
But also, there's great stuff in other countries. There's some great program. I mean, you've been watching stuff coming from England for decades now. I know that because you turned me on to some great programs.
Yeah, but
like,
many
of
times,
course, Mr. Who.
many
which is
times
one of the best.
you'd have to go onto the internet, right?
Well, yeah,
And get those. All right. So you would have to find ways of getting them. Like at a point, I was getting Doctor Who from torrents that came from England. It wasn't even being shown in this country. So yes, we were watching a lot of that stuff, but most of that stuff now comes over here. Most of that stuff is bought up by one of the streaming services. I mean,
why not?
all of Doctor Who, every Doctor Who there is on Max.
Max now, yeah.
Yeah.
Paramount's buying up a lot of stuff. Every service is buying up stuff because they need the content.
Do you know which one to you is the best of the? And I don't know if you have them all, but I'll tell you which one's the best right now.
I think I probably watch more Netflix than any other, but I do watch a little bit of Paramount. I do watch a little bit of Apple.
The best one, for my money, the new HBO, is not
Max.
HBO because Max is getting terrible. Apple TV. They're doing some spectacular stuff.
Yeah, I watched some stuff.
Foundation.
Oof.
You didn't watch it?
I got sucked into the first series and I didn't care for it.
Really? I liked it.
I thought it was too bloated, too much going on there.
There was a lot going on. I will give you that. But all I'm saying is that they seem to do the quality programs now. You know?
I think Netflix still carries a lot of weight there.
They're kind of, though, I always found them to be the cheap HBO. You know, they were always a level below in quality.
I never thought that. And I think HBO's got quality programs, but I think Netflix is on par with HBO.
Really? Okay. Yeah. My favorite right now is Apple TV. I think that.
What are you consuming on Apple TV?
Well, I'm the Foundation. It's just overall.
Like the second series of Foundation?
It's not as good as the first.
No, then I'm not going to watch it because it was a slog for me to get through.
It's not finished yet. So sometimes with a series like that, you got to wait till the last episode to then find out what was the overarching.
I don't have it in me. I don't have it in me. I'd rather read the book.
I like the series with Harrison Ford as a shrink.
Oh, I couldn't stand that.
You really
and
couldn't?
I watched the whole thing. And I liked.
Did you think he was good in it?
The comedian.
I'm trying to remember his name now. I know who you're talking about.
The guy who stars in it. I thought he was okay. I thought there were moments of that show that were really good because they were really dramatically well done. But then the farcical stuff was too far out into the realm of unbelievable. And no, I did not think Harrison Ford was any good in that show.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
I did not think he was good at all. I thought his partner, the girl who worked in the same office with him, was great.
Yeah.
I thought she was a great role.
She was terrific. But I
don't think Harrison Ford was
I'd never
good
seen Harrison Ford do that kind of role. Okay, that's why I enjoyed it. He actually had to act.
I don't think it was just an angry old man to me. I don't think there was a lot of acting there at all.
Because most of the acting that Harrison Ford has done in his career is reacting.
But it works. Indiana Jones, you can't beat that.
No, you can't beat that, but he's a great reactor. But he's not a great actor.
Well, then I don't think he's a great actor because I didn't think the psychologist thing was great at all.
How about, have you seen, was it 1923?
I haven't seen 1923. I heard things about it, but...
What did you hear? Good?
Yeah, I heard good things about it.
Yeah.
The subject matter just doesn't do it for me.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Maybe the time period or something. I don't know what it is. Maybe if somebody would tell me it's as good as Peaky Blinders, then I jump on it.
Well, how many shows are as good as Peaky Blinders?
Very few. That's why I compare it to. That's why that's one of my benchmarks.
Yeah.
Because that's just a superb show. And also another show that I really like, that the second season just came out, is The Bear. If you
I've tried to get through it and I can't.
Oh my God, it's so good.
I know it. Everybody says wonderful things about it, and I'm trying to get into it. And I think I'm up to episode 3 now.
Oh, keep watching, man. It's like popcorn. And every episode you go, oh, I got to have another one. I'll have another one.
Oh, okay. Well,
it's only 2 seasons, 10 episodes, 9 episodes each, something like that. Half an hour, very quick. But the acting and the writing is so good.
I'll have to go back to it. I not only do I trust you, I trust all the other people that say it's good.
The thing is with starting it is that it's kind of a preposterous kind of thing. You don't care about some guy who goes in to take care of his brother's failing sandwich shop. It's just, who cares, really?
Yeah.
But it's not that. It's about the characters. It's really a character-driven show, and it's really good. In the same vein as Ted Lasso, if you've seen Ted Lasso. And people say, what do I care about an American who goes to,
I have tried to get into
to run a soccer club in England. But that's about characters. Watch that show. That's a great show.
No.
And there's a reason it gets accolades.
Okay,
It's
well,
because
let's
it's a great
get
film.
let's get something else. Where I was going with all of this was,
Where are you going with all this, Alex?
well, I rewatched yesterday Citizen Kane.
I just got a new pristine print of that.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it was pristine print of it, and I was watching Citizen Kane. And after it was over, I said, for the time, a very good movie, a great movie, innovative.
Right.
You know,
Yes.
it reset the bar for what was the grammar of movies. Okay, he did. It was amazing, and it was done by that was the first movie he had ever made. He didn't know how to make movies, and so he made a movie the way he thought a movie should be made.
Right.
And so that's why it was so different and why it was so innovative. But as I watched it, I went, by today's standards, is it innovative? You know, it was good for the time.
I say the same thing.
Yeah, it was good for the time, but it's not as good a movie as we would like to think, but it was as good a movie as they could make at that time.
Certainly far beyond what was expected at the time, I would think.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it was a solid story. It was compelling. The acting was great. The visuals were tremendous.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a great movie now? It still holds up.
Oh, it's good. It's very good, but not. I'll tell you. You know, people kind of give me a quizzical look when I say this. When they ask me, "What's the best movie ever made?" and I say, "Well, it isn't Citizen Kane."
Loaded question. Bad question.
Well, it's a bad question because you say, "What kind of movie?" You know, I mean, am I supposed to compare those movies to the stupid Marvel Universe movies? I don't think so.
You be careful what you say about those Marvel Universe movies.
Yeah,
There's a lot
right.
of people that love those.
I know. But I got to tell you, the best movie I've ever seen, that's maybe the best way to put it. The best from every aspect. Bride of Frankenstein.
I just watched that the other day with my wife.
Is that not a great movie?
It's okay.
No, but there's a
I expected more, and I've seen it before, but I expected more. I'd forgotten.
But
There's a lot of silliness in there.
But did you get the second level that they made it on? That everybody in that movie, with the exception of Boris Karloff, was gay.
No, I didn't.
As
get
was the director and who was the writer as well.
Yes,
James
that I knew.
Whale.
Well,
It is a picture about being not accepted. It has, you know, he may as well have been a gay person, the monster.
the monster.
Yeah, because he
That's
was
right,
being
yeah.
treated, at least for that place and time, like that. And so there's this second level in Bride of Frankenstein that most people never catch. And I just think it's a brilliant movie. It's brilliant in its photography and its absurdities, in its abstractness. I mean, it's amazing, just amazing.
It's a good movie,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't say it's brilliant. I don't think so. And by the way, the monster not gay. He desperately wanted to have a wife.
I'm not saying he's gay, but he is a surrogate for a gay person,
Okay.
and
All
the
right.
kind of life a gay person had to live in America at that time, you know, and being shunned by everybody because nobody understands him. You know, I mean, how many people who watch either the original Frankenstein and especially Bride of Frankenstein don't have sympathy for the monster?
Does it have to be gay? Can't it be just anybody who's not accepted?
Well, yes, but I'm saying it was done by a bunch of gay people, so that was the subtext.
Okay.
Okay?
Oh.
Great
So that's
movie.
your best movie of all time.
I would say it's better than Citizen Kane.
I don't know that I would say that.
Yeah. Well, of course you wouldn't say
It's a
that
good
because
movie.
you'll never agree with me.
No, I'll agree with you on some things. One day we'll find out what those things are.
One day we will come up with something we both
That's
agree
right.
on.
That's correct. I would. You see, I'd put a movie like Raging Bull above both of those films.
Raging Bull's very good.
You know,
It's
that
very
to me
good.
is a tremendous film that will always
Mm-hmm.
stand out as being a great
And
film.
that didn't. We're starting to run out of time here, but it didn't win the Academy Award that year. What won that year?
I don't know.
Terms of Endearment.
Okay, well,
You
I
see,
wouldn't put that
who
in.
cares? When's the last time you went back to watch Terms of Endearment? You know,
I couldn't even tell you what it's about.
and when that decade was over, people said they made a list of the best films of the decade. Top of the list, Raging Bull.
Raging Bull, yeah.
In terms of
Absolutely.
endearment, probably somewhere around 10. You know, ridiculous. Hey, listen, we've run out of. You know, time is expensive because we use so much of it, and then we're gone.
Let me turn you on to a man who will change your mind about time. His name is Carlo Rovelli. He is a physicist, a quantum physicist.
Mm-hmm.
Go on YouTube and watch. There's an hour-long explanation of why time doesn't exist. Then we won't run out next time.
What's his name?
Carlo Rovelli. He's an Italian quantum physicist,
Okay, I will try and watch it.
renowned one,
You know, it's always a delight being with you, my friend.
as it is me with you.
And there is Albert Reynoso. Bravo!
Hey.
We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Now in its 9th year, this is GabNet, the great American broadcast network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Oh yeah. Okay. All righty. Okay. That's our good friend Albert Reynoso. Okay. Interesting. Anyway, hello everybody. I'm a little out of it today. I always say that I'm a little out of it because I always want the excuse. If it's last night, I didn't get enough sleep. Why? I can't begin to tell you. All right. Okay. My back is killing me. I don't know why. I don't normally have back problems. I leave that up to Marjorie, all right, and not up to you know, me. But my back has just been killing me. I mean, just so. Last night, Marjorie takes these pain pills for her back. Okay. And I said to her, do you have one of those pain pills? Could I use it? So she said, sure, here. And she cut it in half. I just did half of it because I didn't want to get really loopy, all right? So I take the pill, and then later that night, I get ready to go to sleep, and I am like awake all night. Or at least I felt I was awake. I know I did sleep because, you know, I'd wake up and go, gee, 2 hours had passed. Oh, I must have gone to sleep. But I just didn't get a good night's sleep. And then I had to get up at 9:15 this morning so we can make a 10 o'clock appointment to get our, what do you call it, shots, our COVID shots. Let me see here. There we go. There it is. That's where I got it. Anyway, but now you know it was shifted because we got turned down the other day from going and getting our COVID shots, and the reason was they said that lack of supply. Well, we come to find out that there wasn't a lack of supply everywhere else, but they just didn't send the stuff to Harlem. Okay, so anyway. They remade the thing. Well, does my face look? What color does that look? Okay, here. Wait a minute. That's white. Now, see, I'm trying to do a white balance thing. It won't. I seem to be red tonight. Oh well. Anyway, where were we? Oh yeah. So so we had to. They had to reschedule when they were going to do it. All right. And they rescheduled it for today. Okay, so now we go up there after having been ready to go to the other one a few days ago to go get our shots. We go up there, they process everything, and they say, oh, well, your insurance doesn't cover this. When our insurance is Medicare. The government always covers COVID-19 shot. No, well, they don't here. Apparently, didn't make a deal with Rite Aid. So we're frustrated. So we got to go home. Marjorie gets a call about an hour later from Rite Aid. Oh, it was our mistake. There was something wrong with the computers. Okay. So can you come back later today? And we said, oh, how about 2:30? Okay, fine. So we go back at 2:30 and we get our shots. And now we both have our, not only did we get the COVID-19 shot, the most recent one, but we got the last one as well. It's in the same shot now. I don't get it. Anyway, all day long today, about 5 o'clock, I started feeling ill. I'm feeling like I'm sick now. And I know that what it is, it's the damn flu shot, so that's my life. Never as easy. Okay. Now I have Charlie Wallace here. Okay. And I have Jeff Stein. But there's somebody else here by the name of Mark Herquez. I'm going to put him on here without me going yet to these other guys. And let's see what comes up. Okay. Mark, are you there? Are you there, Mark? Mark, are you there? Oh, there he is. Is that you? Is that really you, Mark? Unmute yourself, Mark. You're muted. You're muted. I can ask you to unmute. Okay? You see? Unmute. Yeah, just what happened to him? Just unmute your go down to where it says audio. Huh. Oh, well, hello, everybody else. Oh, boy. Well.
Okay. I'm a little skeptical
You're
here.
a little skeptical here? Okay. I haven't put the thing up yet, but I'm thinking that we should get rid of them. Do you agree? Huh?
I don't know.
Let's see here. Let me see here. Put him waiting room. Oh, I can just remove him. What the hell? Wait a minute. Here. Is he coming back? No, he's not coming back. Okay. I don't want to report this to Zoom because then they send me all this stuff I have to fill out and stuff like that, But here's Alan. Okay. So anyway, my back's been killing me. So
welcome to the club.
Why? Do you normally have back problems?
I've had back problems for 40 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the club, huh?
Yeah.
Me too.
You too?
Yeah.
I can't bend down to lift up the toilet lid.
Yeah, every once in a while.
So I have my cane. I've been using the cane because also my knee, the knee thing, the meniscus, is hurting me like hell for some reason. So I'm just a mess. I just
Oh, wait till you get to my age.
Am I too red? Is my face too red tonight?
It is red.
It's a little red, yeah. You're a well-read person.
I'm a well-read person. Let me see.
That's cute.
Let me see. Where is the where's the thing here? Let me go here, and then let me go over to here and turn off my white balance. Let's see what happens here. Oh, there we go. That's
Even redder.
You're whiter.
Well, wait a minute. I'll try to get a little orange. Oh, no, I'm a little redder now.
Oh boy.
There we
That's
go.
better.
That's
That's
better.
much better. And then I lower the saturation, and we should be fine. Yeah,
Oh, you're good now.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
yeah. Now I look great. Now I look healthy. So anyway, how are you doing, Jeff? Okay.
Pretty good today. Surprising.
Why? It was the weather causing you
The
problems?
weather was beautiful today.
Today it
as
was
compared-
beautiful, but yesterday, the last couple of days, that's why I think my back has been hurting, and I just wish it would just.
That coldness and rainy.
Yeah.
It was terrible. I know. Every day.
Yeah. I never used to have that problem, though. It could be any kind of weather, and I wouldn't be affected by it, you know? Oh, well, you know. So, what are you doing? Are you doing a little violin thing there?
Yeah, a little violin.
A little violin thing?
At least you can eat.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you a story now.
Why can't you eat?
I'm going to tell you a story.
Colonoscopy.
And you're all going to love this story,
Mhm.
okay? And it has to do with Trump.
Oh.
It has to do with New York City and the state of New York, and the fact that yesterday a judge here in New York, what happened is he's up for they put him up for all kinds of malfeasance and fraud and things like that, right? Not a criminal charge. It's a civil charge, okay? So in a civil charge, you have a judge, and the judge listens to the case, and then you don't bring in a jury. The judge makes his decision as to how he thinks it goes, okay? So he can also do one other thing, and that's the thing that this judge did, which was kind of incredible. He did a summary judgment. And a summary judgment is where you don't even go through the full trial. He just had all the stuff that the state sent him and gave him, and he looked at it, and he came to the conclusion that Trump should lose his LLC in New York State. He should lose a lot of other things and should not be allowed to practice building anything in the state of New York. Okay?
By the way, the panel's not showing on YouTube.
Oh, you know why? Because I haven't put them on yet. See? That's how goofy I am today. There they are. I kept them off because I didn't want to see what that person was up to. Hello, Steve Fox. So anyway, this story comes through yesterday, and of course Marjorie and I are doing handstands here. You know,
Yeah.
Finally, after all these years, they managed to nail this mother. Okay, he's been. And by the way, for all of you out there who think he's a billionaire, think again. Okay. According to what the judge was able to ascertain, whatever he said he had, he didn't have. But the reason why this was highly illegal was because he was using those numbers of how much money he had to go borrow money from banks. And when you lie to a bank about your worth in order to get some money, that's criminal. That's fraud.
Huh?
Okay?
And he did that a
So
lot.
I'm really delighted. And I'm sure we all want to take our hat off to the judge.
Yep.
If only we knew the judge, we'd probably go up and hug him, right? I know the judge. He was the judge in my case in this apartment.
Oh, no.
He was yes. Judge Arthur Engerin, and he was my judge on our case, and very nice guy, by the way. I have to tell you, really, really very decent, sweet guy, it really. So that's my little story. I have no other coincidence left in life, and I won't be able to win the lottery or anything because I've just blown it all on this. The only other time that happened to me was when they had the subway shooter, Bernard Goetz, and they were looking for this guy, and they finally found him, and he lived in the apartment house that I lived in here in New York. And somebody called me up and said, "Hey, he lived in your apartment house. I think he lived below you. Weren't you in above you or something?" He said, "Weren't you in 7I?" And I went, "No, I was in 8I." He says, "Then God damn it, that's where he lives." If I hadn't moved out, he might not have moved in, might not have gone down to the subway and shot that guy who to this day is in a wheelchair.
It's all your fault.
Yeah. So that I thought was just getting rid of all coincidence that I could possibly have, but you know.
Wait,
And you're in the middle of it all bit.
Huh?
in the news, Donald Trump did this, did that. Pretty soon they're going to blame Jimmy Hoff on Trump.
Well, he probably did it.
He probably did do it, or if he didn't do it, he knows who did.
I hope you enjoyed chocolate chip cookies there, Charlie. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't eat right now.
You're just a mean person.
Wait, but why can't he eat?
I'm
Got a
having
colonoscopy.
colonoscopy on Friday, so I only juice and
Oh,
Jello.
Oh, on Friday. Well, Friday, you only have to fast 24 hours beforehand.
No, I can't eat solid food.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you pretty much blow it out of you with all the stuff you got to take.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
what he told me. Friday's the day after tomorrow, so starting today, I can't eat.
Yeah. Now there's Lachlan Motorham.
Oh, here we go.
No, I don't believe it. I'm just, I'm going to remove him. Goodbye, Mr. Mortarham. You know,
Motor hand.
you know. I mean, when
well, Charlie, I mean, are you on the real thing, or are you doing the, you know, the workaround as far as the whole?
what do you mean the work?
colonoscopy?
What do you mean the work? I didn't know there was a workaround for
Is
There
colonoscopy.
is.
around?
Well, no, you don't have to drink that, 10 gallons of whatever.
No,
You
no,
just-
there-
No, I don't have to do that. I've got 2 pint-sized things that I've got to.
well,
drink
there are these
one
little
night
these
before.
little bottles, and I forget what they're
Yeah.
called.
Magnesium citrate.
Magnesium
Yeah.
citrate. And if anybody here has to go out and have a colonoscopy, the magnesium citrate works just as well and is not
Yeah.
as disgusting as having to drink a gallon of that swill.
I think that's why I have to do the Jello and all that stuff and broth.
Oh, by
today
the way,
too,
make sure that your Jello isn't red Jello.
Right. It's got to be orange or yellow, or not even orange. I think green or
Oh.
yellow
Yeah.
I think you cannot have red, orange, or purple.
or purple. Yeah.
Looks like blood in your
Yeah.
colon.
So I wanna make
I've
sure.
never had to fast that much. I just had to fast a little bit, like 20.
He's not fasting though. He's just cutting back on things that are hard to digest right now.
Yeah.
Tomorrow,
Well, if you
I could have pasta today, just noodles and stuff. I can have.
things that are hard to digest, let's get back to talking about Trump.
Yeah.
How did you guys feel when you heard about this?
I cheered, jumped up and cheered.
yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
I want to rush out and get a colonoscopy now.
Peace.
But he really nailed him, and supposedly
Yeah.
when they were pleading the whole thing, Trump's lawyers, he finally started pounding his fist on his what do you call it, table or whatever is up there, the desk, and said, "Don't do that." He said, "You're being bad to the profession.
Oh,
You're not living up to your profession. You're being terrible." And he finally hit them with something, hit the lawyers with something, saying,
Yeah, fine.
you're getting up here and lying about him.
Here's the good thing, Charlie, is you won't need to go to the restroom for about 4 or 5 days afterwards.
My lawyer sent me the complete transcript of his thing, and some of it's very funny. I mean, he laces it with things like, "If you believe that, you'll believe anything," that kind of stuff,
Wow.
And he just said that that he was what Trump tried to do. This was interesting. If you were a bank, he would show you how much billions of dollars he was worth, and if you were the government, he would say, "Well, I don't have to pay any taxes because I didn't make that much money."
Yeah.
And basically the judge said, you can't have it both ways. You can't lie for one reason and then lie for another. You got to be consistent in your lying. Oh, now Ronnie McNutt has entered the waiting room.
Forget him.
hey, Ronnie.
I think that's Phil Myers' new handle.
Ronnie McNutt. No, Phil has not called the show anymore.
No.
You know why.
Why?
Because he doesn't like being told he's talking over people.
What? He didn't say that was the reason.
He
to
told me that's the reason.
Well,
But that's what he does.
I
Yeah.
know.
So then don't talk over people.
Right. He says everybody else talks over people, but I can't do it.
I
Bill
don't
said
think
that.
I don't know of anybody on this program who talks over people. You know,
A little bit, me.
I never
you
do
a
it.
little bit, but you've been better lately. You know, so if people think you're talking over them a lot, then just back off a little bit. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's all. Yeah, but.
I'd like to see Phil back on. It drives everybody's blood pressure up.
Well, I don't, I don't know. I have people that write me and they're just happy without him, you know. And the reason is they feel that because he talks over people, he's disruptive, you know.
Yeah.
And, I've asked him in the past to not be disruptive, and he's kind of turned around and for a while. And then all of a sudden he turned around the other way. I mean, I do miss him, you know. I considered him a friend, but, you know. Oh, here's Kevin. Kevin McNutface. No, this is Kevin. This is Kevin.
Nutface.
Unless,
There he is.
Yeah, it is. That is
There he
definitely Kevin.
Hmm.
Santa Claus.
Hello, Kevin.
Hi, Alex. How are you?
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Good, good. So you heard about my little coincidence?
I didn't. I just got.
Well, the judge who nailed Trump yesterday. That was the judge I had for my case.
Oh, really?
About the apartment. Yeah.
Oh, geez, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm so happy for him. You know, I think he's having a great time.
Right, I bet.
We ought to take him out to dinner or something.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So, but I would write him, but we do have a little bit of work still to do with him, and so I don't want to be in contact with him for that
Right.
reason. Okay. But otherwise, I would write him a note and say, "Hey, Judge."
Can you get me his autograph?
Yeah.
Hmm. On a T-shirt.
You're my new hero. You know.
Yeah.
But no, what he did is it was a summary judgment, and he's allowed to do that if he has all the facts of the case before him, because he's going to have to, in the end, make the decision. It's a civil case. He's going to have to make the decision of what it's all about, and so he can do a summary judgment right now, like he did. And then on Monday, they're going to hear the rest of the case and a lot of the other particulars, and they might nail Trump on more stuff. But then in the end, it's the judge's decision to figure out whether he's done anything wrong or not. See, so that's all I know about the law. You know, so. But so anybody have anything they want to talk about?
You were talking about backs when I came on. Did you hurt your back?
I don't know what I did to it. All of a sudden,
you did?
it just started hurting, you know?
Wow.
You know? And I don't know what to do to stop it. I take heavy ibuprofen, and that kind of helps, you know? But I don't get it, you know? Because usually my back, you know, I have a little problem. Sometimes when I'm walking, it gets a little hinky, you know, but I don't have a back problem. Marjorie's the one with the back problem.
Yeah.
So, and here's what I get. My back is killing me, right? It really is. And on top of that, so's the knee. That's killing me, the meniscus, all right? She goes, "You don't know pain. I have pain." And I'm going, "I know you have pain, but can't you for a moment sympathize with the fact that I'm now joined your club?" You know? No.
You're too minimal.
No, her pain is much worse than my pain.
Yes.
The only
What
difference
does she
is,
have?
huh?
What does she have that's going on?
She it's her back, you know, and she's had
She
a
has
couple
Alex,
of
her husband, her daughter, her husband.
what?
I said she
Or her
has,
husband.
Yeah, her
Alex
husband is
is
a
a-
pain in the back.
as the husband, you're a pain in the ass, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
That's good, Jeffrey.
I'm
Yeah,
trying.
that's wonderful, Jeff.
Didn't she hurt
I
her
don't
back
know.
working out or something? Because she always went to the
No,
exercise.
no. She
Yeah,
supposedly
all that.
she said she was dropped as a child. That I believe.
Oh.
Okay, that I believe. But she was dropped as a child on her back, and that she's always had kind of a not great back. All right, but I mean, she also did a lot of. She was, come on, if she made up for my lack of athletic ability.
Oh.
She did everything. She ran. She did. She was hooked on endorphins. Okay, that's really what it was all about. And so she did a lot of working out, and so on and so forth. And I say to her, "Yeah, it's really healthy stuff. Look what it did to you." And most people who what?
Oh, I was going to ask, did you work out too, or?
I worked out for about an hour and a half once, I think. No,
Once.
actually,
One day.
what happened was I started working out. Because I got into a thing at the radio station in San Francisco where these people came along and said, if you'll go and work out and meet certain levels of working out, we will then give $5,000 to your favorite charity. So I did that, okay? And after I did that, I noticed that the first time in my life, I kind of had muscles. And so I
What are these?
Hmm?
You said, what are these?
Yeah, yeah. And so I then, my girlfriend and I used to just go to this place and work out like 3 days a week, because it's always easier to work out if you've got somebody to work out with,
Sure.
yeah. Your wrist gets a break.
No,
Anyway.
I got it, Alan.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah.
It wasn't all that good. Thank you.
I'd have you explain it, Kevin, but if you have to diagram a joke, it isn't worth telling.
Correct.
Okay. So anyway, I worked out, and I even once I was having sex with some woman, and she said, "Wow, you've got a great body." And I went, "What? I never heard that in my life." I had the body of a violinist's son. I mean,
Was this the blind girlfriend that you're talking about?
no. This was a fully sighted one. Oh boy. So anyway,
Oh, boy.
so I mean, I worked out for maybe about 6 months of my life, and then one day I said to myself, I broke up with the girlfriend to begin with, so I didn't have somebody to go in with me. But then I also said, this is really, what am I doing? I'm just sitting here. I'm getting on a stationary bike and pedaling for a half hour, and it's not going anywhere. I'm not seeing anything. So I went and got a real bike, and I used that. But I just said it's useless. All this working out is just absolutely useless. And nobody's ever proved to me that it makes you healthier. I mean, look at me. I'm 83. I'm going on 84. And I didn't work out. So to what do I owe my longevity? Probably having lots of sex. I'll just say that,
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Yep.
Well, I think probably what you did before, to lead you to where you are now is where you are. I mean, you're fit. I mean, if I look at you and see you,
I'm fit. Are you out of your mind?
Oh, come on.
You can still walk a mile or two, no problem.
See?
Even though you got a cane.
Well, I can't. I really can't.
Yeah, but you can. You've done it.
Well, I did it the other day. I actually walked a
So there you
mile.
go.
Yeah. In fact, more than a mile. Walked about a mile and a half.
There you go.
But
Yay.
I can't do it lately.
Do you look at that on your watch? I mean, do you look at how
Oh
much
yeah,
you walk?
I get the watch thing. It tells me
Yeah.
how much I've walked. And
I know my wife does it all the time. She's short, so she's got that little stride, and she always does her steps.
yeah.
And I always tell her she's cheating because she can get twice as many steps as anyone else because she's got a short.
Well, you see,
stride.
I
did 32,000 steps today.
The good thing about
twice as many as anybody else.
Well, the good thing about the watch is that it's reading the GPS.
Yeah.
And so consequently, when it says I went a mile, it knows I went a mile. It checked out the mile via the GPS. But I just can't. Today, if you ask me, we walked up to the. I think I maybe walked a total of almost a mile today up to the. Where do you call it? The drugstore, and then we went over to eat, and then we went to the drugstore twice. So maybe.
Well, it's your step count too that helps if you look at that.
Yeah.
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 Because that tells you, really how many steps you took and all that.
Yeah, I don't know. Does it have my steps on
but
it?
it led up to where you are now, is
Right.
what I'm saying.
Right.
And for all the workout you did.
No, I said this to Richard Simmons once, and Richard almost swallowed his tongue when I said it. I said, well, I don't work out. And he said, well, Alex, why don't you work out? And I said, because I figure if you don't use your body, it won't wear out.
There's something to be said for that.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And you know something? Maybe I was right. Maybe a sedentary life is what's had me live this long.
Yeah, maybe, but look at me. I probably weigh double what you weigh.
I'd say triple.
Okay.
How much? Can we ask you how much you weigh?
Sure. I was on the scale on Monday. I weigh 322 pounds.
Whoa.
Which is actually down from 354 pounds at the height of COVID.
Really?
So I'm out walking, and I've cut back in some of my snack foods, just some, not all.
You know what is happening with me? I only eat like one meal a day.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm full.
And then
and I'm
snack
full.
all day long.
No, and I'm full, and I don't even snack. That's it.
Not you.
And I haven't lost weight, but I haven't gained it either. So
But what do you eat? I mean, per day. I mean, what is the meal that you have?
Dinner. And
That's
then I have a raisin Danish in the morning. That's kind of a tradition around the house here. She has one, I have one. A raisin Danish. And that's it. And then I have dinner, and halfway into dinner I'm full. I don't know why that is. I worry about it. But then again, I'm told as you get older, you eat less.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you like your coffee.
I only do my coffee when I'm doing this show or when I'm doing an interview. I don't know why. I think it makes me peppier, but it doesn't, So.
You could do like Tony.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, I'm also on almost the last day of my antibiotics, and I am so nauseous because when you get towards the end of antibiotics, that's when they really affect you the worst.
And that's probably why you're not eating right now.
Yeah.
That could have. Well, no, I had the problem before this, but that may have something to do with it. Yeah, but.
So, can I ask you? Did you have your last COVID shot?
Yeah, I just got a COVID shot today.
Okay, how did that affect you?
Well, I was telling people I got it today, and I feel.
I'm sorry, I missed it.
I feel like crap tonight. I feel somewhat a little, puny, as I like to describe it.
I had a week ago, and I was like, almost like a headache.
Really? And then that was just that day, right? And then the next day you were
Oh,
fine.
it kind of lasted.
Oh, really? Thank you.
Lasted for
okay. Well, I won't.
5 days.
I won't. Oh, really?
Yeah.
You got one today, Alex?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
My daughter's friend up at U of O, her roommate got COVID day before yesterday. And I go, oh, great. Here we go.
There you go.
But it wasn't her roommate. It was her friend's roommate that she's been hanging around with. And I said, just go in there and spray the hell out of it with Lysol.
I don't know. Does Lysol do anything?
I don't know. Probably not. Probably
No.
not.
It says on the can that if you spray it, leave it wet for 10 minutes, it'll kill COVID and E. coli.
Yeah, it's been
I
saying
remember,
that for years.
you know, if you remember, and let's not discuss whether any of this was right or wrong, because I don't want to get
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly.
Right.
I just read what the can says.
what the what?
Can says.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that we did all kinds of things during COVID. First of all, any packages I got, we left out in the foyer here and sprayed with Lysol, and
Yeah.
then didn't open them for 3 days. You remember that, folks?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I know you did it.
Yeah. You know, you remember when you doubled up on the masks? You wore two masks instead of one.
Never. I never wore that.
You heard that was good? There's a lot of things I'm beginning to see, probably, although I disagree with some of it. I was watching Bill Maher, and he was saying, well, you know, I don't think the mask did much of anything. And I went, you know, why
Wow.
tempt fate? If using a mask, right, is going to just keep you from having somebody else sneeze in your face, it's worth doing, especially during those times. And if you remember back then,
The flu was down.
well,
Yeah.
I was afraid of dying. You know, I
Yeah.
didn't leave the house for 3 months.
Right.
You know, so I mean, it was a very fearful time. And up here at Mount Sinai, the hospital was full. It was absolutely full. You couldn't get another person in there. You know, so I mean, we've come a long way, but still,
Well, they've learned how to treat it,
huh?
and they've learned partly how to treat it.
Yeah.
Paxlovid is a game changer. Paxlovid has probably saved more lives than anything.
There's some people that say it's bad though. They yell and scream, "Well, that's bad for you. Don't do
Yeah,
Paxlovid."
not everybody's gonna. You could take a sugar pill and be told that it's Paxlovid and have a reaction to it. Placebo effect. I mean, you know, not everybody's gonna get along with every drug.
That's great.
Oh God.
That was my favorite.
Yeah, boy, that'll take care of
There
it.
was always this too.
Yeah. Oh.
That's great.
You know what though? There was a lot going on in those days. I mean, we had all kinds of theories about stuff, you know, and some were really bothersome. Ooh, my back. Hold on a second. I just had to reposition myself. Huh?
So it really is bad now.
It's not good. Now, if I get up and I walk around a little bit, it gets better. But when I'm sitting here for a couple hours, forget it.
Maybe a muscle maybe spasm. No.
What?
Maybe a muscle spasm. Maybe.
No.
Turn?
No. It's a backache.
Oh God.
Dr. Tony.
You know, I don't know why. Maybe if the weather was nice today, though, I shouldn't have been hurting me as much. It was gorgeous today. But anyway, so you know, I mean, I think we've come a long way with COVID, but when it was at its height, I mean, you know, especially me. I mean, I'm at my age. It was a death sentence if you got it.
Yeah.
You know. But we've learned how to deal with it. We've learned how to. There's people are still dying of it. You know, if you don't go out and get the shots and you don't maybe wear masks in certain situations, there's a chance you could get it. So at least get the vaccination, because then if you do get it, which you might, I've had vaccinations. I've gotten it twice. Okay,
So,
but
the way
I
a
didn't get it terribly. You know.
And the way a mask works is, and this is that people can look it up in medical journals if they want or whatever. A mask really protects the other people.
That's right.
You cough and stuff. That's right. And so if you and I are in a room and we're both wearing masks, we're really protecting each other.
Well, you're wearing a mask for me, and I'm wearing a mask for you.
That's right.
Yeah.
A lot of people believe because they're wearing a mask, it's going to protect them.
Yeah.
And that's not the way masks work.
But
So,
if everybody thinks it's gone, it
yeah,
ain't.
boy,
It
where are
ain't.
they wrong?
You know. Now,
Hopefully, the Republicans are thinking that right now.
yeah,
No, everybody's been relaxed, is what's going on. It's that
Yeah.
everybody has relaxed their fears and they're like, okay, everything's fine.
well, they're getting
you know?
too loosey goosey with it. You know,
Yep.
it's like they've just kind of gone, well, you know, we got the Paxlovid, and if you have had the vaccination, probably if you get it, it's not going to be terrible. Although the one I got, the last time I got it, I did not feel that well that night when I was trying to sleep. I had a hard time sleeping, and then the next day I took a test, and by golly, I had COVID. So luckily, I had a woman staying with us who's a doctor. So she simply ordered up Paxlovid for me immediately and threw a mask at me.
Yeah.
The Paxlovid was a game changer.
Yep. Even if you haven't been vaccinated, it'll work on you.
Well, what are people arguing about Paxlovid? What are some of the claims that people say? Oh, you're gonna, I don't know.
No,
I don't know. I mean, some
they
people
stay through it all, and they say that I'm not going to go ahead and take this because I really don't need to, and then it's elongated, where Paxlovid shortens it, and these people go for a week.
Early on, before we had Paxlovid and shots, and when we had the Delta variant, which was probably the most deadly variant that we've had come along, you would get some people would get sick for 2 or 3 days and then get better, and 5 days later they'd end up in the hospital on an intubator. So Paxlovid is stopping a lot of that from progressing.
Well, it's amazing how easily it slows the progression of it, and turns the tide on it. So,
it does.
But what I'm wondering is that they're talking about long haul, that it's a lot more serious than most people thought.
It is.
Do you have long haul at all?
No.
Yeah.
A bunch of my friends do, and they're having some difficulties like nobody's business, and it's really taken effect on them, especially with this latest variant that has come out. It's really just taken a toll on people, and
these are people who've been vaccinated too.
Yes.
Yeah. See, just because you're vaccinated doesn't mean you're not going to come down with it, but you're not going to get it as badly as you would have gotten it. Okay.
I wonder how many of those people wear a mask everywhere they go. I do.
I'm loosey goosey on the mask. And I shouldn't be. Like I went into Rite Aid today. I probably should have put a mask on. Certainly when I go over to the hospital, they don't require you to wear masks anymore.
They don't require it here either.
I'm going to wear a mask because where do sick people go?
Absolutely.
And if you're going to get it or even get it, the one thing I found with the masks, okay, you can say what you will about them. Some people go, oh, they didn't do anything. Yes, they did, but you can think that all you want to. But the one thing that it did do is that during COVID, I never got any colds.
No, that's what they're saying. It goes down. Cold and flu season. Remember, they said it was markedly down with the masks wear.
Because people were wearing masks. And this is what people do in foreign countries. Like you go to China, if somebody gets a cold, he wears a mask to work. It's just, that's what you do. And I just think that we've never, but here we're so damn selfish. I hate wearing the masks. It's so, Well,
so here's the upside is obvious to wearing the mask. The downside for me is it steams up my glasses a little bit. I would rather have a little steamy glasses than COVID.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the point is that
stop being so selfish, people. Put a mask on.
Well, what's that old saying that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure? And this is really
in this case, it's sure that sure stands true, huh?
Yeah. But I'm just thinking about all we were doing in those days to prevent it, or what we thought would prevent it, like me spraying my packages down.
Well, let me ask you this, Alex. So going back into the radio days, Did you find that people were spraying Lysol over the microphone?
Oh yeah, we did spray them.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Yeah.
every radio station, we had a bottle of Lysol, a can of Lysol, and when you were through with your shift, you'd spray the microphone.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the germs were going to jump off the mic a foot away and catch
Let's put it this way. If you were to smell that microphone,
Yeah. Oh,
I'll leave it at that.
okay. Yeah, there you go.
I mean, when you have people, various people going in and breathing on a microphone,
It's spit.
you know, it's not a bad idea to spray the microphone with Lysol.
Okay.
I don't know that I did. You do it all the time?
Now we have this formula that we rub on the microphone, and it, just sanitizes everything. But that's what we do now.
Now, have you been doing it all the time or since
Yes.
COVID?
Yes, all the time.
All the time. Okay.
Well, since let's go with this. Since COVID, all the way to now.
Because COVID, I would think if you're in an announce booth, okay, which is an enclosed room, soundproof, hermetically sealed so it doesn't get any sound from the outside, double glass,
Yeah.
and you go in there and somebody's just been in there and had a cold, whether or not you spray the microphone, you're in a germ-laden room.
You are. But if someone were, I'll say this because this happened, exactly what you just said, that someone was sick, and we completely went through that whole studio, desanitized that whole thing. I mean, this is during COVID time,
Yeah.
and they let us stay out of the room. We had to go to another studio to go ahead and do our show for a little bit, and they said come back in a little while. Came back in, and everything was fine. So there's a lot of steps that are taking right now to go ahead and make sure that that's not going to happen.
Recycle the air.
Well, by the way, I was told by
With
the
filters.
by the woman who gave me the shot that this is actually 2 COVID shots at the same time. It's the last one and the new one all at one time. That's what she told me.
No, that's the bivalent, and they 2 weeks ago the FDA took the licensing away. Nobody should be using bivalent anymore.
Really? Well, she said
So it's now the new one. The newest one is what's called monovalent, which means just one, and it's just the current one that's floating around, I guess.
Yeah, I have Moderna this time. Got it.
I go to either 2 different places to do exercise work, and in these gyms, everything that you touch,
Oh yeah.
you have to wipe them down.
That's good. That's a smart move.
Well, as a kid, as a person who worked out, excuse me, I always, even from the early days of working out, was taught you bring a towel with you and then you wipe the device off, the handles or whatever, after you're through using it, because you get sweat all over them.
Sure.
Well, they have now a chemical,
Really?
and it's all on a strip.
Well, the thing that bothered
Take it, you wipe it down, and
Yeah, but what bothered me was that I would do this, and I didn't know whether that other people who would come into the gym didn't do it, and I couldn't figure out why. You're doing it to be nice to other people around you.
Isn't that what they made pepper spray for? You didn't spray it down. Here, let me spray you.
Yeah, let me spray you. Yeah, but I mean, it's just amazing. Just amazing. Do you work out, Tony? No.
Actually, I do. Me and my brother work out together. I just do kind of like a light workout.
Like what's
So I try to go like twice a week, but I haven't been going in the
what's
last
that?
2
You
weeks.
lift a pack.
Wait, is that like incest?
No, he takes 2 bundles of comic books.
Yeah.
Hey, those can get pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother actually's got the membership, so I'm under his. So I do like the bike, and I'll do light weights and stuff like that. I used to enjoy it, but then I get bored of it. I kind of wish I miss playing basketball.
I was doing
stuff like
I
that.
was doing a bike every day down at the gym down here. this really cheap gym. It's $15 a month, so whether I go or not doesn't really matter.
Yeah, mine's like 22.
Right.
Yeah, and I just I went down and do the bike for a half hour and go home.
I usually do the bike and I put my headset on. I'll listen to a podcast or music. You're right, though. I get bored after a while. Sometimes I'm listening to the news. I try to like listen to something that jazz me up a little bit. Then I usually, but you know what I do funny is my brother doesn't shower there. He'll drive home and shower. You know what I do, Alex? I bought the shower shoes because even though everything is clean there, he's like, get yourself shoes because you never know with the floor. You can get athletes with or something easy. So I got like little plastic shoes that I put on my feet. When I want to shower there if I stink. I don't like to go home smelling.
You can go home. What I used to do is I'd go home immediately and shower.
Right.
That's what he does. Yeah. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I'll jump in quick just to wash off.
Yeah. Do you wash this? Do you sanitize the shower shoes when you bring them home?
He got me like little I don't know what they are. They're like slip-ons.
I just want to take a vote from everybody. We have somebody waiting in the waiting room by the name of Perel Laquarius Brown.
You don't need one, do you?
Do you think he's trustworthy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't.
Oh, by the way, I just have to do this for Alan because he's been giving me whatever about my behind me. So.
Oh.
Ta-da!
Wow! You finally got something behind you.
No, my bikes. Hello, I ride.
But they're gathering dust in that closet now.
No, they're not.
Wait a minute. Bikes?
Oh, sorry.
Why do you have two? Why do you have two bikes?
Are those mountain bikes?
One of us gonna be they're road bikes. But I ride about 75 miles a week.
Wow.
And I got, my doctor told me, he says, you want to live? Ride. And that's what I've been doing. But
Alex doesn't ride much and he's still around.
Well, I used to when I lived in the marina in San Francisco. I got a bike and I would go out and I went out to the Presidio out to Fort Point.
Nice.
And then back. And that was about a mile and 2 miles, something like that. And I would do that every couple of days. Then one day somebody stole my bike.
They took it.
So I got another bike. But that one never felt right. And I quit doing the daily biking.
Did you try putting a seat on it? No.
No, because I liked the way it felt the other way.
Okay, good.
The bike you had. Yeah. You were used to the comfort of that other.
Right.
Looking at how fat I am and how big I am, when I was a cop, I used to run around this man-made lake in Fremont, 2.5 miles every day, and then work out with weights for another half hour every day that I went to work. I'd be lucky to walk around the lake now without having a
Part of the reason you probably have gained weight, though, too, is that if you work out and then you don't work out anymore, all that muscle will turn to fat.
Part of the reason is that you're right. Part of the reason is that when I injured my knee, I sat around the house for 3 years and just ate and didn't work out anymore. And so I blimped out.
Yeah. Well,
there's still hope.
Well, I lost a lot of weight a couple of years ago, and then I gained some of it back because I went and had, the cancer operation thing and all of that. And after that, I kind of gained some pounds back. But I haven't, lately, I haven't put a pound on. Pants still fit just like they've always fit, so whatever.
You're muscular.
Well, no, I've been feeling well lately, but one thing I thought it might be, is it possible that from this last time when I couldn't sleep one night because I thought I had COVID and then I took the Paxlovid, that was enough to give me long haul?
You never know, really.
Long haul in what way?
Well, I mean that that you just there's this long haul COVID that happens after you have COVID, and some people it's like
but a lot of that's mind fog and
but
breathing problems and stuff. You're not having those problems.
Oh, I'm having brain fog. I mean, I'm having that I'm having. So who knows?
I think the FDA or somebody just announced a day or two ago that they now have a blood test.
Yes, I saw that. I saw that. Yeah. They have a blood test that they can tell if you have long haul.
Well, yep, long COVID.
This was a disease that just kept on giving, didn't it? Yeah.
So you've had it what, twice?
I had it twice, yeah. Once hardly at all. Marjorie got it worse than I did, and I didn't test positive till a couple of days after she did. And so I caught it really fast.
Wow.
And we did I did the Paxlovid that time, went away. Then I got it again, did the Paxlovid again, went away. You know.
Are you the only one on the panel that's had COVID?
Who, me?
I've had it. Once.
Oh, wow.
Tony also had it.
Tony
I
had
it, yeah.
Yeah.
I had it the December, Alex, before the vaccine that February came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that? It felt like the flu to me. That's what it felt like for a day or two.
So I love how Kevin, sends his kid off to college so she can get COVID.
Hey, and I paid for it too.
Yeah.
What are they doing though in the schools?
Oh yeah, what are they doing?
Have they kind of gotten loosey goosey at the schools now?
Yeah, but Portland is a pretty interesting school. I mean, U of O is a pretty interesting school. They've got everywhere you go. You go to the bathrooms, they got masks, they got tampons, they've got everything on the wall, in the men's room and the ladies' room.
Wow.
I mean, they've got all that stuff on the wall. So you walk in there and you decide you want a mask or you want a tampon or you want whatever. It's all right there on the wall.
They have tampons in the men's room?
Everywhere. Yeah. In the men's room.
In the men's room?
When we went up there to visit.
What? So you can
my daughter's time of the month.
When you date a woman, you give her a parting
I don't
gift
know. I don't
or something?
know.
What is it?
It was weird because
I got her a tampon.
it was my daughter's time of the month when we went up there to visit and she didn't have nothing. I went in. I mean, too much information, but I went in my bathroom and I came back out and I said, I got you covered.
Really?
She goes, what? I go, they were in our bathroom.
See, it just doesn't make sense having him in the men's room.
Yeah, why would they put him in
it worked. I came out with the help.
You know what I could never
What are you going to do with it?
I gave it to her.
Give it to your girlfriend. Maybe
they put it in the wrong room.
You know?
Sent it to you, Tony.
Well, what do they say? It also helps bullet wounds. That's what the Russians told them. It was a bullet wound. You stick a tampon in there and get back out
all
on the
it
field.
all it is a blood collector.
Yeah, it's just. Yeah.
So if you have a bullet hole, I imagine that would be a good idea.
Yeah, that's what the Russians were telling out in the war. The Russians were telling the prisoners, here you got tampons. You go out there, you get the hole, you put it in there, and you go back out on the field.
Oh boy.
I think I'll get some.
This is your
in my
first
car.
aid kit. Get out there.
Wow.
Tony's going to buy some right now. He's trying to figure out what brand he wants.
You know what I never
get the scented ones.
You know what I never bought though, because I just didn't feel they could be sanitary. Was I never bought a condom in a men's room.
Oh yeah.
You know how
you wouldn't think so.
Oh.
You know how they would have condom? They would have the condom machine.
Yeah, they got the machine.
Yeah, the plastic wrap.
Yeah, I know, but somehow
Just didn't seem right.
It's like years ago when you would go into the subway here in New York. Maybe you remember, Jeff, and I'm sure maybe
the bars used to have them.
Well, no, what would happen? What you would have in the subway were sandwich machines.
You would tell me. I watched an old movie.
Yeah, no, thank you.
That looked like it had.
And you would stand there in front of this machine. Also, they had candy.
Shake it first and make all the rats leave.
What I was saying, you're standing there looking at the choice along with the rats next to you. You know, I mean, I just never. I said, who would ever?
You just
Tony has friends.
said to the dog. Oh,
Yeah, his best friend.
yeah, really.
Yeah.
I went to high school in New York.
It shows, Jeff. How
On the
smart
train,
you
you learn everything on the train.
are. I'll bet.
That was the greatest Rodney Dangerfield line of all time. He said, my girlfriend left me for my best friend. Now I don't have a girlfriend anymore, and I don't have a dog either.
Tony.
Oh,
mute
I just looked.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Is that time?
he'll be mad at me.
You got 50 seconds.
Hey, wait, I can hear the
50
theme.
seconds.
Well, I'm going to play it. Here we go. There we go.
There it is.
There's the theme.
You're running over. Bennett.
Thank you so much, Jeff. Thank you so much, Charlie. Thank you so much, Alan. Thank you so much to our good friend Steve Fox, who you can hear his little on-air, on-web radio station by going to gabnet.net and clicking on it on the side.
I
Okay?
do it a lot, actually, Steve.
And back at you at Alex, because it's on my website too for Gabnet.
Oh, okay, good. Thank you. And also thanks to Kevin, and thanks to our good friend Tony. Everybody, give a big wave goodbye. I'll give a big wave goodbye at you. I better get out of here really fast, folks, because he's going to be very mad at me if I don't. Jack Bishop is next over most of the same Gabnet. See you tomorrow night, same time, same station in life. In the meantime, as always, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Bye-bye, everybody.